When is the last time you looked at what your food is made of? Do you think it's safe just because the FDA approves it? It's not. Companies are allowed to use hormones in food for money purposes. They use hormones or pesticides because it produces their products more efficiently. GMO, genetic modified organisms, are in 70% of food. They are a process of transferring specific traits or genes from one organism into another plant or animal. Bovine growth hormones make animals grow faster and fatter. Pesticides are used in crops to destroy harmful organisms in the crops. Our hormones are increasing our all-time high in production of food, but at what cost? Even our benefits of food are decreasing. Nutrients in food have decreased by 50% since 50 years ago. Our bodies need vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and photochemicals to have healthy cells. Our advances leave us to be less healthy, but is it worth it for the food? The average U.S. supermarket has 45,000 products. Use ethylene gas to allow their products to last out of season, such as bananas or oranges. Companies now have employees do one job so they can be paid little amounts. The importance of money has led McDonald's being the largest producer of ground beef and potatoes. Hormones have no evidence of health decreases in us, but there has been practically no research on them. Chickens now are able to get slaughtered in 48 days versus 70 days in 1950. Not only are they killed 22 days earlier, but they are now over 4 times the weight of what they used to be. They are so heavy that they can only take 1 or 2 steps without collapsing. In one chicken house, there are 100,000 chickens. These chickens never see sunlight and are constantly filled with bacteria from feces of other chickens. Chickens are extremely territorial, so they fight in these places, allowing cuts on their bodies to get infected. Tyson is the largest company for chickens, and they now have to hire Latino workers because most Americans will not work for them. We now have enough hamburger for every American. In one burger, there are thousands of pieces of different cows. They feed cows corn instead of grass because it is cheaper and is artificially grown. If they fed cows grass for 5 days before they are killed, 80% of the E. coli inside them would be eliminated because cows are not made to eat corn, they're made to eat grass. Outside slaughterhouses have 130 cases of contaminated meat, while inside slaughterhouses have 3,600 cases. 1 in every 3 Americans gets onset diabetes, and 1 in every 2 in minorities. The cases of diabetes could be from how fast we are able to produce food. We kill 32,000 pigs per day. The government subsidizes corn, which is why we are able to produce so much of it, and our corn is so cheap. Less than 3% of the corn we actually eat. Many Mexicans had to move across the border as illegal immigrants because they had lost their jobs, and the company don't get harmed because of this. Our increase of productions has allowed farmers to feed more people. We feed an average of 126 people per farmer compared to when it used to be just 7 people. This production is also a source of pollution. 90% of soybeans are ready up genetically modified seeds. We used to use 2%. We use them because they are genetically modified to be healthier seeds. Large companies don't allow farmers to clean their seeds, to be able to replant their seeds, because it would make them lose money. Our country is worse off than what it used to be because of what companies have control. They have worsened our economy. They don't have to label genetically modified foods, but they do have to label cloned foods. Fast food restaurants no longer have to tell the calories for law purposes. Food has become 3.9% more expensive. This technology has evolved because of how we are able to genetically modify foods. This allows us to be able to change foods for the better. It allows us to change foods more productively because it changes the way food can avoid harmful organisms. Girls and guys are now hitting puberty sooner because of the hormones we put in food. 25% of girls and guys hit puberty 2 years earlier. The hormones have also led to an all-time high in E. coli, salmonella, heart disease, and more. What I think about this production of food is that it's good because it increases our production of it, and I don't really care because I don't know anyone that has got infected by E. coli, so oh well. But honestly, I do think it's wrong if someone did get infected by it because if they're multi-million dollar companies and they're not losing that much money if they change their ways. So I don't know why they don't change it.